Patrick Eads, his newly married son, Tyler. Congratulations to the family. And all the staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, congratulations. His daughter graduated. So congratulations to you and the whole family. Mike's E-Keys for cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. Graduates in that family, too. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Oxyoke Inn in the Amanas. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter and Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com. Suter is back.
Okay, and Pat just got an all-important survey.
Yeah. Hunter says it's some random thing they're sending out, but I don't know of anyone else who got it.
And to help Pat fill out and work on this incredibly detailed survey, they enclosed $1.
It says, enclosed you will find a $1 bill, yours to keep as a thank you for considering. It basically, the Johnson County Board of Supervisors is conducting a survey to evaluate public views on their plan to construct a new building for the Johnson County Sheriff's Office and Jail. The goal is to address the need for a safe and modern jail and law enforcement facilities that meets blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's important.
Yeah, Johnson, okay.
They need it.
The Johnson County Board is working with the University of Iowa Center for Social Science to deploy this survey. We ask that you complete. Okay,
that's important.
Okay, but all right.
That's not one of those completely random.
Yeah.
Okay, but then why? Let's see. I don't know why they need.
If there's something that you're uncomfortable to fill out, don't fill it out.
Well, they want to know how much money exactly you make. They want to know your political lean, whether you're in.
Libtard.
No, I'm not.
Right, libtard.
It says, are you currently registered to vote in Johnson County? Of course, generally speaking, do you think of yourself as a Democrat, Republican, independent, other, or none? I would put other or none. I mean, what's an independent? An independent sounds like you're not an independent because you're an independent.
It means you can vote for, and your thoughts, either party or libertarian.
Then why wouldn't other or none be like that too?
I don't know what the difference between other and independent would be.
To me, it seems repetitive. Independent, and then the other. If you are independent or something else, are your opinions closer to the Democratic or Republican Party? I just found it kind of interesting. They just want to know too much. Why does my political leaning have to do with whether they're going to build a building?
Give them your name?
No, it doesn't have to. It says it's. Let's see. We ask that you complete at your earliest convenience by using the enclosed blah, blah, blah. You may also take the survey online, which I'm definitely not going to do. I like how they say this survey should take you no more than 15 minutes for you to complete. There's a lot of questions on there. I mean,
there are.
Yeah.
We will send a reminder. They're going to remind me in 2 weeks.
Yeah. You better do it.
I typically don't love doing survey.
I've never done one.
I do one every freaking year for the Kaiser Foundation, and it is the most exhausting.
It says, we are inviting you to complete the survey because you are a resident of Johnson County, Iowa.
And you are.
I am.
Well, they've finally admitted it.
So are you guys. I don't know. Why didn't you guys get it? Why me?
I don't know. Maybe I did get it.
And I might have, too. I just haven't gone through the mail since we just got home yesterday at
when I saw that $1 bill, I'm like, wow, man, that's 1/8 of a...
That's almost a can of pop at KCJJ.
Yeah. That's 1/8 of a bowl of soup. It says we will keep the information you provide confidential and the data. I guess I could go through and just not answer certain questions. What are they going to do? Hey, you didn't fill the survey out.
And
do it again.
If I were you, if there's anything on there that says Pat Harty or any of your personal information, cross it out. And then
the Johnson County Board of Supervisors plans to ask Johnson County residents to vote on constructing a new building for their in jail, blah, blah, blah. If you had to vote today, would you vote yes to support constructing the new building or no to oppose it? Okay.
Yes. I would vote yes. Absolutely.
How familiar are you with the current sheriff's office and jail building? Not at all, slightly, moderately, very familiar, extremely familiar.
We did a story on this like 10 days ago.
Well, I didn't hear it.
3,800 to random county residents. So
all right.
Okay.
That's a small sample, but yeah, you were
one
of the lucky ones.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, well, you didn't answer. How familiar are you with the current sheriff's office and jail building?
I am
Pretty familiar.
You're pretty. Okay, that's
I
not
am
one of the choices. It's
what's
not
the highest?
Extremely.
I am.
You're extremely familiar.
I
yeah,
would be
because I've had 2 tours of it so far and seen it.
I would be the notch just below extremely.
Very familiar.
When you get
I'm very
water,
familiar.
when you get water dripped on your head from the ceiling, yeah,
Then you're very familiar.
Where is
familiar.
Okay,
Yeah.
where is the sheriff's office and jail building located? Inside Iowa City, outside Iowa City? Don't know.
Inside Iowa City on Gilbert
I'm going to
Street.
put don't. I think I'm going to fill out don't know.
No.
How old is the current sheriff's office and building? Less than 10, 10 to 40, more than 40? Don't know. I don't.
10
know.
to 40.
10 to 40. Yeah, I don't.
It's 40.
How many
Yeah.
people work for the sheriff's office and jail? Less than 50, 50 to 99, 100 to 149,
That I haven't.
150 or more? Don't know.
50 to 99.
Yeah, I don't know the answers. They don't give them to you. So.
Okay, we have a call.
Yeah,
I'm sure either this is Sheriff Kunkel or
he'll be here
or
next
someone
week.
else.
By the way,
next week.
Have this thing waiting for him. Have him fill it out.
hello.
It's Jerry, Tom. I got the survey too.
Okay,
Captain Steve,
What is
did it?
this?
this is this is Mace.
Steve?
Mace.
Yeah, bye.
Mace.
Is that a new character?
Yes.
Have you ever been a victim of a violent crime such as a robbery, burglary, physical attack, or assault? I have not. Nearly. A dog
not
saved
quite.
me.
I was.
I was close, but a dog saved me.
I was pushed into a wall one time and fell over into a bush, but that's as
Jesus, that's
close as I've gotten.
a day in the life of my house.
I was running money to a bank after a concert because that's what I was supposed to do. I got robbed.
I want to get your answer. Thinking of the justice system, including law enforcement and the courts, how often does the justice system treat people with respect, treat people fairly, take time to listen to people, give victims a level of support, and then they got never, rarely, sometimes, very often, always? That's okay.
The interactions I have had have always been very respectful.
With cops?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. For the one,
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
the one who arrested me for OWI back in '87, I didn't like, but that's because he was arresting me and he said I was combative, and I don't remember being combative.
I think you were combative.
I bet you were.
I believe you were combative.
I was not. He did not
Hell
say
no, I won't go. You were yelling that at the
No,
top
I
of
was
your
mad
lungs.
because I was already in the house. I'm like, how can you arrest me when I'm already in the house? He's like, well, I'll show you. And he arrested me, and he showed me.
Well, I'll tell you, this is something that we've needed for a long
I'm with
freaking
you.
time.
That jail is a mess.
How
It
about
is.
this? Which of the following best describes you? Man, woman, prefer to self-describe. Which answer should I do? Prefer to self-describe? What does that even mean? What does that mean?
That you're
none?
binary.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any of these. Or then they want to know they want to know if I'm Hispanic or Latino, my level of education. I mean, I may get bored and fill this thing out. I mean,
I
it's
think,
good.
you
It's
know-
for good. And if there's some questions I don't want to answer, I just won't answer.
Yeah, it's information that they want to get to make the best decisions and,
Yeah, I get you.
and to put out the best possible jail proposal that has a ghost of a chance of passing.
Yeah. And what they want to do is combine the Iowa City Police Department with the jail and the
See, and I
sheriff's
think
office
that's-
in one building, and it makes the
Absolutely makes sense.
yeah, because it's too small. The Iowa City Police Department, it's way too small. They're cramped in, and that jail
And the sheriff is-
and you could get a tour of that jail.
I don't want one.
It's just like
Well,
it's just falling apart.
Well, no, I'm not interested
Yeah.
in seeing a jail that's falling apart.
No, it's falling apart.
I'll take your
You
word
ever-
for it. Hopefully, I will never see the inside of that jail.
Well, hopefully not.
I don't know, Harty. You got a long life
Yeah.
ahead of you.
Yeah, but the longer I live, the less chance of those. Well, I've never really been a lawbreaker before,
Yeah,
but
come-
any chance of that.
I'll call in a noise ordinance. Hey, this guy's got Zeppelin
I don't
play at
that's
all
just-
hours of the
That's
night.
just it, though. The nice thing about living in your own house and a decent amount of space between you and your other is you can do that. Now, if you lived in an apartment or something, that would be a problem.
That's right.
Yeah, but I haven't lived in an apartment in God, since the late 80s. Late 80s. That's the last time I lived in wait, no, I take that back. Late 90s, I remember. I lived out, remember those Lakewood Hills apartments back 30s, right on Holiday Road there? They used to be pretty.
Yeah,
each one had a fire.
Sure, I do. Those are pretty nice.
I don't think they are anymore, though. Back when I moved in, it was starting to get a little dumpy. But I remember it had a really nice pool, and each apartment had a fireplace. And I lived there for 2 years before I bought a house. But they also had a roach problem.
I actually believe my brother Steve lived there for a while, and those were
When,
very
though?
nice.
When did he live there?
I thought
in the 80s and 70s, they were luxury.
Early
90s?
80s.
Okay, back then they were luxury, yeah. And really nice pool. And
Lakeside was pretty decent.
Well, it
back
was.
in the day.
It was.
Yeah.
yeah, so, but I'm not sure what Lakewood Hills. I think that's what it's called. Isn't that what it's called?
I think I think those were very nice.
Oh,
I
I
don't
could
know
see.
what they are like now.
Because it was it was 24, 25 years ago when I lived there, and they were still nice, really nice woodwork, but they had each one had a huge fireplace in it, and I loved that. And I lived there for a year or 2 years, and then I bought a house.
Did you build a real fire in it?
Oh, I did it all the time. Yeah, I seriously did. I mean, I used to fall asleep to fires. I love that sound.
I do too.
Love the sound of because when I was growing up, that was my dad's hobby. He cut firewood and collected it. We had a fireplace in our living room and down in our basement because all the homes in Beaver Hills seemed like that. And he literally, our backyard, we had a fence, but instead you couldn't see the fence because all over. We didn't have a huge backyard, but the whole thing was surrounded by 6 feet of hickory, oak, and walnut wood cut up and all around. Used to drive my mom crazy. But my dad loved to have fires.
Did the hickory smell better?
I love the sound of hickory burning. Mm-hmm. The best, though, is we had that basset hound. Yeah. She used to lay by the fire because she loved the warmth.
Oh, yeah.
And the little timber, what do you call those things that fly out?
Embers.
Embers. They would, burn her, and she would cry in her sleep, but she wouldn't move because she was so comfortable. We'd see her every once in a while. You'd hear a heat, and then you'd see a little ember had shot out at her, but she couldn't move because she enjoyed the heat too much. She loved the fireplace.
We had a fireplace in Sandusky, and I think Jan was on vacation with her sister, and it was when I hurt my back, and all of a sudden a bird just comes down and just sits there on
well, that's the risk with fireplace bats, and we had a couple bats growing up. I mean, that's a place where they often come in. But no, it
shot back up again.
My dad loved to build a fire, and every time he would, the basset hound would sit there waiting for it to get done. Would just sit there because she loved fires.
The last fire I built was not this home, but the one before it. Built a nice fire. It was great. Went out. We went to bed, and the cat got in there and tracked all over the house.
Ooh, did you have carpet?
Of course.
Yeah, see, that wouldn't be as big a deal now with vinyl flooring.
No, but that was the final straw for me.
So does your house now have a fireplace?
It has 2 of them.
You never use them?
I use them all the time, but they're
they're
gas fireplaces.
Gas fire, yeah. Okay, yeah. My dad was always against those. Fake pussy fires. He'd call them wuss fires. I don't really have a problem. My dad just thought they were wussy fires. You need to get that real wood in there. Get it cracking.
What about those cardboard fireplaces with the a light bulb that makes?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
These ain't that.
They put them out at Christmas in the stores. And it's a cardboard fireplace.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And maybe I haven't. I just didn't notice it.
Well, you wouldn't have been impressed. Let's put it that way.
Not at all.
So, all right. Well, eventually we got to get to the Hawks.
We do eventually.
That's why we're here.
So yeah, here we are. June. What are we? June 2nd.
We had 6 more athletes qualify for the 4x4 women, and then what's her name? Allie Buchan-Nashbish, I believe she qualified in the 800.
Fabulous.
And along with Kalen Walker, of course, he ran a 9.94 last week and qualified, and I think Ryan Johnson. There's several others. So, yeah, and I believe the Nationals, are in 2 weeks in Eugene, and then that's it. Then that's the end of Iowa Hawkeye sports for this sports calendar year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Iowa recently sent out this. We got a list of multiple interviews with members of the women's basketball team coming up starting. God, I better make sure.
I saw where five of them were, was it the Dean's List?
I saw that, yeah.
So Ava Hayden, Taylor Stremlow.
Yeah, and Lucy Olson.
Uh-huh.
And but not to go all over the place, but how about the college baseball NCAA tournament. I mean, the number one team's already out.
Bloodletting.
I mean, Arkansas Little Rock's like 19-32, and they beat a team. And Wright State eliminated someone significant. It's crazy what's going on with the college baseball.
And I actually love to see that.
Oh, I think it's better for the game. Yeah,
it is.
I mean, the women's game is way more predictable. I actually found myself cheering for UCLA against Tennessee yesterday, and I couldn't figure out. But I think it's just because they're in the Big Ten now.
Yeah.
And I've never really been a big Tennessee fan, but it's just because they're in the Big Ten. I was cheering for them, and they lost. But it was an interesting game. I mean, it was 4-2, and then the UCLA girl hit a 2-run homer in the seventh, and they were up against one of the best pitchers in the country. And I just found myself pulling for UCLA, and I found myself doing that other times. How about Oregon? That team that came here looked invincible.
Yeah.
Two games they lose, and they lost to Utah Valley and. Who was the other one they lost to? Cal Poly, I believe.
But yeah,
at home.
Teams you would expect them to beat.
They lost them both at home. And it just shows you, though, there's a lot of good players all over the country. And a lot of these schools, like Wright State, they're a really good baseball power.
Is that Indiana?
I think it's in Ohio, I think. But I'm guessing they have a decent NIL pool funding that program, because that's a lot of this stuff. There's good players at these schools. And it's just interesting, though. And then Michael Caliendo won a national title at under 23 at his 74, whatever it is. And so congrats to him. And then since you were gone, were you here when the Williamson kid that fell apart?
I was here when he committed, and I was gone when he decommitted.
Well, I'm not sure how you phrase what happened, but it's
parting of the ways.
I'm not at liberty to really discuss what happened. He's no longer committed, and they have since added Ben McCollum's son Peyton to the mix, and that not surprisingly caused a mixed reaction. And I wrote something where I just said, this is not another John Licklider case, because that's what a lot of people were, oh, God, nepotism. I mean, it's nepotism, if you want to say that, but there's blatant nepotism that's not. I mean, this kid, at least, I think, like I said before, if he can show that he can make threes and be a decent – he is a good 6'1", 6'2". John Licklider, I know they listed him at 5'11", but like I said, he was like 5'8", 5'9". He had no business being on the court or on the team, and so this is different. We'll see. And they got the kid from Drake. I mean, a lot of people said, "Oh, we're just settling." Well, I mean, I'm guessing they had some other big guys targeted. And you don't get everybody, but
and they put together the best team.
And I still say it's not bad. I like the Sturts, Filgaris, and Houston, whatever it is. That threesome right there, to me, is going to allow them to spread the floor. And if they can keep those guys healthy and out of foul trouble. I mean, Houston can make threes from 30 feet. I've seen it. He's going to be able to make some threes, and with him and Sturts, that's going to be tough for anybody to defend, and the Fulgaris can make threes. And then as far as, then you got Manuel and Tavion Banks. And so, no, am I thinking they're a lock to make the NCAA tournament? Of course not. But if they can win more than they lose, to me, that's a decent first year.
And I think Cooper Koch is going to contribute.
I hope he does. I mean, right now, we just hope he gets healthy and he's able to, and if he can. And so, like I said, I think these people ranking him in the top 25. I think a lot of that's just to try to kind of get attention and whatever. But
let's get used to it, because that's what we're going to get for the next couple months.
Oh, I don't think you're going to see a lot of media people ranking Iowa in the top 25.
No. I mean, they don't have anything else to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I think, and people do stuff to bring attention. Yes, I get it.
Hello.
What did you think of that 10-minute delay in that Tennessee UCLA game over that home run where she jumped over the plate and didn't step on it?
I missed that part. Obviously, I didn't watch the game from
start. Did they count the run?
And I would have changed the channel.
Well, they kept 10 minutes. They looked well. Now, she jumped over it, but then the runner and the gal that was supposed to hit afterwards pushed her back onto the base. Well, now, is that right? Should she do it, or should it? The runner went ahead of her, she could push her back on, and they kept going over who could put her on.
Hey.
And then after 10 minutes, they decide, well, it wasn't challengeable.
All she has to do is touch the plate.
Well, and they pushed her back on the plate afterwards, but 10 minutes of Well, is it the right person that pushed her back? Should she have done this on her own? Should she have done
Yes.
this? And then they decided, well, you couldn't challenge that. And I
Yes,
thought,
she should have done it on her
right.
own. And she knows she's
And
supposed to touch
then
the plate.
Tennessee lady got real mad, and she was yelling for a protest, but then when they ended up winning, then they just forgot all about that.
Yeah, there you go. Funny how that works, right?
But I've never rooted for UCLA, but now that they're Big Ten, I root for them, and I just don't care for SEC. And the 4 teams that are left, 3 of them are SEC.
To probably nobody's surprise.
Yeah. And the one that Texas Tech, they've got quite a pitcher on their side. I guess Patrick Mahomes came from Texas Tech. He's always texting in on, okay, let's get going. And
Well, sure. That's
where he played.
Supporting his alma
Yeah.
mater, you bet.
so anyway, I'll root for them because I don't want SEC. I'm tired of SEC.
Well, there you go. Then your path is clear.
Yeah. Okay, well, you guys
All right.
have a good day.
All right, Karen, thanks.
Yeah, I missed all that. But like I said, I would have changed the channel immediately if it.
Oh, yeah, I
The
hate
reviews are just they're killers. I mean, the reviews are almost as bad as in-game interviews. In-game interviews are the worst, especially with athletes.
They're awkward.
They're just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just really awkward, and it's
Unnecessary.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, I can't believe these NBA players agree to it, but they probably don't have a choice. You know, you're interviewing an NBA player after the first quarter. I mean,
So trying to catch his breath?
I like
trying to.
it's bad enough when they interview these track athletes after they win the 800 meters and they can barely breathe, and they're asking them for
Marathon.
they're asking them for hey, how do you feel? Well, I'm freaking tired. First off,
How tall is Holly Rowe from ESPN?
I've been around her, but it's been years. I'm trying to last.
She's not very tall.
No,
5'6",
I'm
maybe?
guessing at the most.
because she does those, when she's on a basketball game or something, interviewing those people. It just looks like her neck is going to crack open.
Yeah.
Well, especially, when she's
I
doing a 7-foot basketball.
I changed. I do not listen to those things. I either change the channel or leave, or just. I just think in-game interviews are just
Stupid.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have to have them. More is not always better.
No.
It really isn't. I didn't mind not hearing from Larry Bird during quarter breaks back in or Michael Jordan. I mean, they never made. I don't know why they're making them do it now.
I don't know, because they don't. It's not like it's brought to you by somebody either.
And they're never good interviews.
No,
Hey, you're
because-
behind by.
they're playing and they're tired.
You're behind by 8. What's going on? Well,
They
we got to
yeah.
play better.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we got to play better.
well, it always ends up. That is always how it ends, no matter who they interview.
Now, Greg Popovich was great. I remember that one interview. His answer to all 3 questions was turnovers.
Okay. Holly Rowe is listed as 5'5". AI says she's 5'8".
No, AI's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Sure is.
AI. See, when I think of AI, I think of Allen Iverson, and I'm sticking to that. That used to be one of his nicknames, AI.
Yeah.
Bubba Chuck, that was another one of his nicknames. I think that was his nickname as a kid.
I think of A1 steak sauce.
Ooh, okay. A1 or Heinz 57?
A1.
Yeah, I don't know. I might, if I had to choose, I might go Heinz on that. Remember when they were the only 2 really options?
Or Worcestershire.
Yeah, but we're old enough to remember when they really were the only 2.
Yes.
State now, there's just so many, but
Yeah.
I probably would have done Heinz, but I didn't like either one because if you had a really good steak,
You don't need it.
I understood why would you put anything on a really good steak. And I told you the story about my buddy in high school. when
Other than like Lowry's.
well, no, Lowry's a little Lowry. Yeah, see, I'm talking about sauce.
Although
like-
you don't put Lowry's on a
How about
beef
my buddy who
tenderloin,
dipped his prime rib into ketchup, and the chef came out like, "What the hell are you
Well,
doing?"
yeah, really. I mean, why would
It
you
was
do
embarrassing because he didn't really, he treated prime rib like it was French fries.
that? I only use ketchup for French fries.
I hardly ever use it.
I don't like.
If that's what I would use.
I
it
don't
for.
like French fries.
I don't like it on meat.
I don't like ketchup.
I don't like ketchup on meatloaf. I'd put barbecue sauce on meatloaf before I would
Yeah.
ketchup. I'm just not a big ketchup fan. Mustard, I only use it on brats or a hot dog.
I'm not a big sauce guy, but I do like.
I like marinara sauce.
I like Frank's.
I like that.
Sauce for
you like the
wings
price
and
of it
stuff.
now?
Is it higher?
It went from $4.99 to $6.49. But I'm telling you, there's one just as good. You should try. You know that Chop House Meats brand that they have at Ivy? Try their buffalo. It's $4.99. It is really good.
Right.
It might be as good. It's got a little more black pepper in it.
I just bought a new Frank's, so
you didn't even notice the price. You know, it's $6.49 now. That's a significant buck and a half price.
No,
increase.
that's
significant.
No, but I didn't notice it because I was out.
But Frank's has been my go-to until this new stuff.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, Chop House Meats, and it says buffalo on it. They got this other one that says it's got more butter in it. It's not as good. But because I don't want my wing sauce to have a barbecue flavor. I want it to have a wing
I don't
flavor.
like barbecue flavor.
If I want to have barbecue, I'll eat barbecue, and I'm not a huge barbecue fan anyway. You know, so but I
mean, if it's a barbecue rub, yeah,
I can do that. Now I did do pork chops in the air fryer for the first time last night. I'll probably never do them in the oven again.
Really?
20 minutes, they were incredible. Wow. They were really good in the air fryer for 20 minutes at like 350. I mean, I couldn't believe how good they were. And I cook them for about 15, then put a little bit of open pit on them for the last 5 minutes, and that kind of made like a bar. It was really good. And I don't think air fryer is really bad for it. That's not like deep fat frying.
No,
is it?
no, it's
not.
Actually, no, it's good for you.
Is it good? Okay. Yeah.
Because it doesn't have all the fat.
But man, it was good. I've not done. I've been told that I've not tried steak or hamburger in an air fryer. Have you ever done that?
No.
I'm not sure if I.
The only thing I use the air fryer for, we'd use it for potatoes.
Like you've done baked potatoes in there?
Yeah.
I've not done that.
And cubed potatoes.
Okay, I'm gonna. That's my. I've done a lot of French fries in them so far. I've been told they're. Oh, toast.
Yeah, I mean you got different settings. Toast,
oh yeah, no, I got.
Yeah.
I haven't tried toast.
Yeah,
but
it's great, delicious.
Okay, and
people say that wings are fabulous that way.
I've done wings multiple times. Yeah. Yes, they are very good, but they're also very good in the oven. If you do it in the oven at 350, I mean they're almost as good. But no, they're both good. They're just a little different in the air fryer. But no, I've done wings probably 5-6 times in the air fryer, and I've only owned it for like 3 weeks.
So it must be okay then.
No, it's good. Yeah, like I said, I could not believe how good the pork chops were, and I've done chicken legs. Chicken legs are great in the air fryer, especially if you buy some little crusty type batter. You buy some seasoned stuff, man. I've done those, and they were good. So, all right, enough for the food. Back to the Hawks.
Must be hungry.
Well, it's June 2nd. Not a lot of Hawk stuff going on.
Okay, a couple baseball players I saw went to going into the portal. Did I see that right?
That got
Reese Moore.
That one was sort of a surprise, and but he's coming hot. But yeah, I think you're going to see. That's just the nature.
Oh, you're going
to see every year multiple baseball players. And it'll be interesting to see with the new softball coach if she can keep everybody.
As far as you can tell, looks like a good hire.
From what I can tell, her resume certainly speaks for itself. And I think it helps that she's a former Hawkeye, too. I just think that helps. She played for Gail Blevins. She was part of that tradition. But she's also from Reno, Nevada, too. So there's different things about her. You know, she didn't grow up here, but she developed here and became a star player. So, yeah, on the paper, I like the hire.
And I don't know much about it, but yeah, it certainly looked like a check the boxes, like they like to say. So
yeah, and I was wondering about maybe she'd keep Carl Golan as pitching coach, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. From what I can tell, it
well, I was sure impressed with the job he did.
So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, here's Reese Moore right here. I'm going to retweet it. University of Iowa. I will be entering the transfer portal from the University of Iowa. First team All Big Ten, 9 home runs. Yeah, he's hot right now.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to be disappointed, but that's just is the nature of the beast.
Yes. Am I as an Iowa fan? Am I disappointed? Of course, I'm always disappointed when an Iowa player leaves because you sort of buy into them when they're here.
God, he put his cell phone on his post. Should we call him? Try to get him on the show? I'm kidding.
Sure.
I'm kidding.
No, call him.
No, I'm not going to call him. First question.
Why would you put your cell phone?
Because he's trying to make it easier for schools to contact him.
Oh.
How about the first response from Crypto Lawyer? Why? Genuinely curious.
Crypto Lawyer.
Crypto Lawyer. I mean, it's
Second question from Captain Steve. Do you feel like Benedict Arnold now?
Do you seriously? I'm restricted for 30 days on Facebook.
You've been lashing out?
I thought I saw you post something yesterday.
This is the whole thing. My restriction stops.
You're shock and awe, aren't you, on Facebook? Just
stops me from going live, for monetizing my page. I mean, things I don't do anyway.
Yeah.
They've had enough of your anti-MAGA stand.
What I did is the Joni. Did you hear anything about the Joni?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
She doubled down and
made fun.
made fun.
Yeah. So there's a meme going around, and it's all over Facebook, all over everything, with the state of Iowa, and instead of the slogan, it just says we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Okay. I posted that on KCJJ
Nice.
under the story. Well, they accused me of encouraging suicide. I got a thing, post encourages suicide, self-harm, everything. You're restricted for 30 days. So I clicked on, that I want to challenge it.
Yeah.
Within 1 second, it turned me down. I'm not kidding. It just
See, Twitter doesn't do that.
Jesus.
I mean, you could have gotten away with that on Twitter, I would think.
Well,
Facebook must have stricter.
It's all over. Everybody else is posting it.
Yeah,
it's all over. I got it off of Facebook. I mean, yeah. So I'm restricted. I've been shunned by the Facebook community.
And it's getting marked down by that company that's now monitoring all of it. What's that called? Palantir?
Maybe
Getting
you'll
all of our information.
Maybe you'll learn something from this, Steve. They'll teach you.
But they keep sending me emails, kind of yelling at me for posting. I mean,
so
seriously.
if you wrote them back saying, "Hey, why don't you go F yourself?" Would they ban you?
You can't write them back to tell them to go F yourself because they don't. There's no way to communicate with it.
So just keep doing that stuff. Will they eventually ban you?
Yes.
Get banned.
Yeah,
that should be your goal to get banned from Facebook.
They would ban KCJJ's account.
Oh, you're doing this under KCJJ.
Well, they'd ban any account I'm over, which is KCJJ, KFMH, and my
KCJJ.
personal.
You don't need Facebook. You're bigger than Facebook.
Sure.
Sure we are.
Well, you learn your lesson. Behave and just keep your thoughts to yourself.
Behave and comply.
That's what they're expecting.
They're
from
after.
You. And that Palantir is going to be all over you. They're going to know everything you're thinking. They're stealing all. Have you heard that controversy?
I have not heard anything about Palantir.
Have you guys?
I have.
Yeah, it's this. I guess it's this company that's being.
They want
to monitor every person in the United States, all of our personal information.
They want all our personal information.
I mean,
they won't be the first to have it.
Like I said, I don't have anything to. I have nothing to hide.
Well, I mean,
sadly, I really do have nothing to hide. I mean.
Well, they've already got it. They've already
through
got
cell phones and all the other. Yeah, I mean.
Screw it.
God, we have that on our freaking web page.
Yeah.
But that's the new controversy.
Yeah, screw with this whole screw it.
But how about what Ukraine did?
What did Ukraine do in the last 5 days?
They blew up all of Russia's air force, basically.
Well, about 30% of it, 40%.
Well, Russia attacked them. What do they expect?
I don't know, but the response, though, on Twitter, I mean, there's so many people in the that are pissed off at Ukraine. This is ridiculous. They just want World War III. So Russia can just keep bombing indiscriminately.
Right. And they can attack, but Ukraine can't fight back.
But there's a lot, at least on Twitter, and I know Twitter's not a fair. There's a ton of people that are pissed off at Ukraine.
Screw them.
Yeah,
screw them.
It's ingenious what they did, though, is they somehow took a bunch of drones and put them in Russian trucks, and I believe Russians actually drove them into the country, not knowing and then
they did.
And then all of a sudden they all popped out and went and destroyed a bunch of. It's just ingenious what they did.
Yeah,
love it.
They did put them in a bunch of Russian trucks,
and they showed one Russian even jumping up, even running to one of the trucks, and I think they detonated it because one of the trucks didn't. Do what it was supposed. So what they did was it blew up the people around them. But we haven't responded, have we? Trump has not responded yet, has he? And they did not let us know. They did not let the United States know.
Yeah, well, you're sitting there watching Bruno Mars.
Yes, love it.
They're blowing up.
Best concert I think I've ever seen.
Better than McCartney?
Well, completely different. It's McCartney's band played 50 years of McCartney's hits, which I dearly love.
Better than Zeppelin in '69?
The 1,000 times. It was a great show.
Wow.
See, it's a show.
1,000 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a show.
It's a show, and it was
We got
absolutely tremendous.
We got Led Zeppelin taking a back seat to Bruce Mars.
Bruno.
Or Bruno Mars. What did I say?
Bruce.
Oh, it was close.
It was.
I could have said Bruce Uranus.
I think with that, we'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number, 1-800-800-ROSE, your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember,
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know, if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember, we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier, for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy 20,000 square foot indoor facility holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top-level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America, for America event.
Sale extended through July 6th. Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
You take great care to maintaining your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
The Oxyoke Inn is ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with a passion that you've come to expect since 1940. Serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Reservations are easy at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke Inn.
In the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Partner
partly cloudy and warm today. We'll get to the upper 80s, some places even close to 90 for a high this afternoon. And, yeah, there will be a little more of that smoky haze from all of those Canadian wildfires out there again today. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop to 69 tomorrow. Thunderstorms with some heavy rain, a half inch to an inch or more tomorrow into tomorrow night. An isolated strong to severe storm possible with hail and wind, the main threats. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it's 69.
KCJJ weather brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
You just lit up when you saw hail, lightning. Wait, waiting to see if Tommy and Molly were down there just in preparation. You saw them light up, didn't you?
I did.
When you saw the hail.
I got a Christmas tree.
Just so happy that there could be really dangerous weather. We'll
rain. Be covering it.
We need rain.
So it's getting to be 86 degrees today, and she called that hot. I just came from the desert.
Hot.
Dry heat, though.
Nothing.
What was it?
The hottest it got was 103.
Ugh. Yeah, but you're in a dark, dingy casino.
72 degrees and cloudy.
Just air conditioned.
Well, it's been a while since you've been to Vegas. It's anything but dingy.
But they're dark, aren't they?
No.
No.
I thought they had low lighting.
You want to go back in years to the dark, dingy. It's in Rock Island.
Cigarettes.
It's awful. So did you, big winner?
Oh, my God, no, I was awful. And had some nice stuff happen to keep us out of the poorhouse. But, no, I was awful. Awful.
And you know what they're saying?
Thank you. Come back again soon.
Come back again too. Hey, we'll throw in a free meal as long as you stay at that poker.
Well, this basically was free for you. Other than
not
the show.
Quite. I mean,
your hotel room's free,
our
right?
hotel room. Well, you got to pay like a $40 resort fee. Okay?
Each day,
but that's free. Basically free.
Yeah.
$40.
Is all your food free?
Some. If we stay on premises and use our points up and stuff, we could probably get most of the stuff comped, yeah. But not all.
Good food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas has great restaurants, and they're all expensive.
Yeah.
The days of the real cheap buffets are over.
That used to be that used to Vegas' reputation.
Yes, but they're over.
Yeah, everything else was cheap as long as you gambled.
Well, 77 was the last time. The last time I was there.
2008 for me.
You went to it was like a Bonanza, only it wasn't Bonanza.
Yeah, I remember.
But it had like really good steaks and everything, and it was $4.99 for all you can eat. As many steaks.
Oh, God, it's been 17 years since I've been to Vegas.
You get a little bit of that still downtown Las Vegas, but. Yeah. I mean, our drinks were free. Yeah, that was good.
I mean, my cousin has lived there for several years now in retirement. She loves it. I have not gone out there to visit. I'm sure she lives in a pretty nice place. They went from living in San Diego they chose Vegas over San Diego. Haven't really asked her why. I don't think she's a big gambler or anything.
I'm guessing it's cheaper.
Oh, it's probably cheaper. I'm sure the real estate taxes are much cheaper,
yeah,
too.
because San Diego's
expensive.
I mean, it's incredibly beautiful.
It is.
And it's consistent weather-wise, but it's expensive.
I mean, I was there for the 2019 Holiday Bowl. And I was out there for 4 or 5 days. I remember our hotel was right by where all the big U.S. ships were. Never going for long walks. No, it was really nice, but, yeah, it's expensive. San Diego. I mean, California in general is expensive.
Yeah, it's way expensive.
It really is. Well, hell, it ain't cheap here.
No, it's not.
I mean, like I said, my property tax is going to soon soar by my mortgage for my pay. It's almost caught up to my mortgage, the monthly expense, the cost of my mortgage, which is crazy.
I can imagine my cousin's mortgage out there with his $14 million mansion.
Well, I'm sure it makes no difference to him.
And you realize how many $14 million mansions there are in California? There's tons of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just mind-boggling the cost of.
Well, he downsized from his $28 million mansion.
I think I was reading.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
he doesn't need the 48 bedrooms anymore. He's down to 25.
That was the only interesting thing about that whole Rose Bowl game experience. Getting into the shop, the drive to the stadium and just seeing all the different homes and neighborhoods. That was the best part because the game itself sucked.
Yes, it did.
And then the drive home afterwards, I was going straight to the airport, so I was. But the drive there was a nice drive. I remember going through Pasadena, and no house looked alike. Everything was so hodgepodge. And there were some really neat neighborhoods. And I remember the bus driver saying, hey, that's where they filmed the Batman's, right there on the big, huge cliff there. And that was the neat part of that trip.
I wasn't impressed with the Rose
I
Bowl
wasn't either.
in the slightest.
The stadium itself was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
The press box, all that was like,
I mean, it was neat to see the mountains over the stands like you get on the TV shot all the time. That was neat to see. But you can see that on TV, too.
Yeah, and I've seen that. I saw that at the Sun Bowl. I saw that at Boulder, Colorado, when I covered their game. But no, I just was underwhelmed by the Rose Bowl. Hopefully Jamie's not listening. I was sort of underwhelmed when I went to Michigan.
I was disappointed.
I just did, the way the stadium's built, it just didn't reach out and grab you. Yeah, there's tons of people there, but they're so far from the field. It just seems sort of, I don't know. It wasn't like Ohio State and it wasn't like Penn State.
No,
those ones are way more vertical, where the fans stay closer to the field. To me, that matters.
Yeah, I didn't. Of course, our seats were like row 12 or something. And if you remember, there's so many rows in that stadium. By the time you hike up to get
it makes Carver look like a walk in the park.
Exhausted.
Yeah, it's way more difficult than Carver. But also, I remember being there in 2002, and it was so quiet because Iowa was kicking their ass. Were you at that game in 2002?
No, I was there in 2004 when Tate got his helmet
knocked off. They lost that one, I think, 27-10. 2002, they beat him 34-9. Jamil Lewis replaced Fred Russell and was incredible.
Oh, I remember that.
That was such a fun game. That bubble screen to C.J. Jones, Michigan could not figure that out. They just were feasting on it. That was Iowa football at its best. I mean, everything they did that day worked. And it wasn't that Michigan was a bad team. Iowa was just so good that day. They really were. That was a fun game to cover.
Brad tried to borrow money off of Fred Russell.
Who?
Brad Mann?
Brad Mann, yeah.
Borrowed money off Fred Russell? What do you mean? Why would he be around Fred Russell?
He was at some event or something, and he had a tape recorder, and he played it on the air, and then he asked for... I think he asked him if he could loan him $20.
Why would he think that
Russell
would have money?
Why did he never have money? Oh, I know. He worked here.
Oh, it didn't matter. No, he was one of those people that if you gave him $300, it'd be gone before he could walk to the car.
What did he? Was he like a drug addict or what?
No.
What did he spend it on?
Don't know. But he'd spend it
obviously
instantly.
Not exercise equipment. He owes me $20. I have a right to lash out.
$600.
He owes me $20. He at least worked for you. He did nothing for me. Wasn't he your guy for a while? Wasn't he your discovery? You were going to ride his coattails to fame.
He got us on the internet. I'll give him that much.
He did. He had a little bit of a technical brain that surprised all of us.
So he gets a tattoo with a tiger hawk, and underneath it, and he was married at the time, writes Brad Mann, and his wife goes, "Why didn't you write my name?" And he goes, "Too many letters." It's like only one more letter, Gretchen.
Yeah, there's one more letter.
Yeah, she got pissed.
And she divorced him over that?
No, she divorced him over.
We don't need to air his. I mean, let's move on.
Righto.
I remember I just did that show that one time I went down there, and he's acting like he's Carson. There's nobody watching, nobody listening.
So the Indiana Fever, I think, plays tomorrow.
And I won't watch.
They've got 8 players that are healthy enough to practice right now.
And they're probably going to fall to 2-5.
They might.
Yeah.
Probably will.
I watched a little bit of it the other day, but, I mean, they had that chance. Their last shot with that Kelsey Mitchell launch from the baseline. That was just such a bad play they executed there. She took a bad shot, and I don't know. They're so discombobulated without Caitlin. They really are.
Okay, is it true? Because I don't know what's true anymore or anything, but I've read articles being posted that Angel Reese wants to transfer to Indiana.
I would think absolutely not.
I have no idea. I don't. Where have you read that?
No, I saw it too. No, I don't think that's true at all.
You don't think it's true?
I think she wants out of Chicago.
I mean,
no, I don't. I don't
She could
think
obviously help them, but her problem is she's so limited offensively, and that's another one that they could easily just sag off of and put more pressure towards Caitlin.
Uh-huh.
That would be my problem because she can't shoot. Dewana Bonner's starting to come. Dewana Bonner can shoot. I know she struggled early, but she's had a couple decent games. I mean, you need shooters. So it makes it harder for them to clamp 2 and 3 people on Caitlin, which is what they're trying to do.
So, and then with Colson being out and Sophie Cunningham being out and Caitlin being out, those are their only 3 real possibilities for point guards. So that leaves Kelsey Mitchell.
And Lexi Hull.
Lexi, yeah, but she's a forward.
I know, but she might have to play a little bit out of position. I mean, she's a 3. I mean,
Yes.
I think she could be closer to a shooting guard if she had to make a move than a power forward.
Yes, I would agree.
But no, they're going to be shorthanded, and they so it's going to be tough. Caitlin's back in another week?
Maybe.
So yeah,
they said they evaluate her again a week from today.
It's amazing how she had none of this stuff at Iowa. Could you have imagined if she would have gone 2 or 3 weeks without playing at Iowa?
Well,
the impact that would have had.
Yeah. We'd see what the Fever are experiencing. You bet.
Well, I don't know if Iowa would have lost every game, but they would have struck. You're right. They would
sometimes go with her. I mean, she's bulked up a little bit. Does that sometimes?
Oh, that
go
may
along?
it may have something to do with it, but sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. You just you're sometimes with injuries you're living on borrowed time to begin with. So I mean, because there's some players that are injury riddled through college and they go and play in the pros and they don't have any injuries, or just vice versa. It's just hard to say. At least that's not something like a ligament tear or something.
No, exactly.
It's just, I mean, it's a muscle. I'm sure she pulled her quad muscle, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that? Yeah. So, and like the hamstring, you got to be really careful. Hamstring even more so, because with a hamstring, and I've dealt with that. You think you're back, and you're not. Yeah. And the only way you find out that you're not back is you pull it again. And I've done that.
And I don't know if this is going to be any different than that. Do you?
Yeah. So I just hope this doesn't turn out to be a lost year. You know. But with a 40-game schedule, I mean, and they're almost 1/4 of the way through their schedule. What are they, 2-5?
2-5. I think that's right.
I mean, they're almost 1/4 of the way through their schedule already. So it will be interesting to see. At least she wasn't hurt for that exhibition game. And could you imagine if she wouldn't have played in Iowa City? It would have been anarchy.
Well, there is a radio station in Iowa, and I think it's in North Central Iowa, that signed up for the games, the Fever games on the radio, and dropped NASCAR because I talked to our NASCAR person, and she goes,
"Oh, now,
do you reach up to?" And I said, maybe at night." I said, "Not during the day," but they dropped it for the Fever games, and now they're,
they're what?
Well, they're screwed.
Since Caitlin's hurt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody's going to listen to it.
I give them credit, though, for at least trying. I mean,
Hello.
Hey, guys, it's Greg calling from Chicago.
Hey, Greg.
You mentioned the Fever only having 8 players. I know there's been some complaints, I think, from players lately that I don't think the WNBA has the thing, like the NBA, where they can sign a player short term.
They do.
Or have any.
Yes, they do.
Do they? Because
yes.
But then why are like the Washington Mystics? They still have, who was their first round pick from Kentucky, the point guard?
Georgia Amore.
Yeah,
Georgia Amore.
She's still on the active roster, even though she's out all season. I don't think maybe I'm wrong, Tom, but I don't think they have the roster flexibility.
It may not quite as much, maybe not quite as much, but they can sign people to a 10-day contract and stuff, because I've heard the Fever's looking for something like that because they need to.
Oh, are they? Okay, no,
yeah. But it has to be
really
hardship. It has to be hardship.
Well, the silly thing too is the Fever only are carrying 11 players to start with because of money reasons. So a lot of the teams don't even have 12 players to start the season, which seems a little ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks, guys.
But it's a problem.
Okay, did you just get the announcement? Iowa women's basketball announcement, Pat?
What is it?
Jasmine Walker has been named an assistant coach with the University of Iowa women's basketball program. It was announced.
Hiring.
Yeah, it was still. It
so
was
that's
announced
Tanaya's...
by Chad Jensen.
No, Tanaya was director of player development.
Okay.
She wasn't an assistant.
I'm excited to welcome Jazz to our staff. She's a bright young coach with a skill set that will complement our staff so well. She had coaching stints at George Washington, at Purdue of Fort Wayne, Ferris State, and Davenport University.
Yeah, the Tania Davis thing is just, it's strange.
It's weird, isn't it?
I mean, Rob talked to her and to her mother, and they said that they didn't want to comment on anything because they were waiting to make for an announcement to me about her next career move, but I haven't seen anything come of that. So we honored that request, but they thanked Rob for reaching out, but they didn't say why. I mean, one theory I was told is that it was assumed she was going with Raina to Gulf Coast, went down there and didn't like it, and then but yeah, I don't know. This is just it's just weird, and it's tough to speculate on stuff like this that you don't know all the facts to. All I know is Tania was appreciative that we reached out. She didn't say anything about Iowa but she did say that she was waiting for an announcement. And that was a couple of weeks ago. So,
West, wish her the best of luck.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
It's just a strange separation.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't always get all the information. And of course, another breaking news. Well, I'm not gonna. This is, I think, Dallas's last week of school. I'm not gonna bug him right now. I'll post it when I get home. Lose a few page views, but our traffic is. For this time of year, man, I can't believe how good our traffic is right now. I mean, it's incredible. And I thank you to our. That column I wrote about nepotism, and I had some people disagree with me. There's some people who just felt that Connor and Patrick should not have been on scholarship at Iowa. And I disagree. They were good enough. They were both top 100 recruits.
But don't they base that on mostly because Fran makes so much money that they shouldn't take scholarship money?
But that's not fair to Connor, just like it wasn't fair to James Ferentz. And I had a lot of people say, why can't because James and Brian worked their asses off to try to get a scholarship. Just because their dad makes a ton of money, whether he's what if his dad's a brain surgeon and should that be the same case too? I mean, I never understood that.
No, I didn't either.
And James and Brian, Connor and Patrick were all deserving of scholarships. Now, one guy did bring up that he thought maybe Fran at times played Patrick too much, sometimes at the expense of Chris and Keegan. Fair enough. That's an argument.
Legitimate argument.
But it's not like Patrick was chopped liver. He was a decent player. I mean, he averaged double figures. He's a 1,000-point scorer.
So good offensive
And Connor was their best passer every year he was on the team, could guard multiple positions. And that's all I said. But they were deserving of scholarships. And John Licklider wasn't. He wasn't even deserving to be as a walk-on. So, but I knew though when that McCollum story broke that it was going to be a lot. Iowa fans are sensitive about nepotism and deservedly so.
Fair enough.
And fair enough. No, I get it.
Yep.
But I just think Peyton McCollum isn't just someone you can just row. I mean, if Peyton McCollum was 5'10" and didn't have the stats that he had, yes. But the fact that he's 6'1", 6'2", first team All-State, led his team to the state championship game, averaged 13, 6, and 4, had great.
His stats are fine.
And if he's going to be the 11th, 12th, 13th guy on the roster, it's his dad's prerogative as the head coach to put him on there. And yes, there is a degree of nepotism, but you can also have nepotism and have the person perform the duty.
Yeah, Suter.
What?
You can't have nepotism.
Molly. But she does her job. Brian Ferentz did his job as an offensive lineman, but as the offensive coordinator, he didn't, and they got rid of him.
That's right.
When my grandkids were doing the fair coverage, I got ripped by some guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, now you're going to have your grandkids on the air?
Well, there's nepotism.
It's a fair in the summer, and they're interviewing other kids.
Well, there's nepotism. There was his last name was Pardee, this coach. They were talking about how he's risen, and I bet you anything he's related to. Do you remember the former NFL coach and player Jack
Pardee? Of course.
It's his grandson. Nepotism is everywhere.
Of course it is.
It is everywhere, and that's
like Fran. The kids. Sometimes this goes along with your genes. Your athletes,
sure it does.
And it transfers over to the kids. There's a lot. Charlie's got a lot of me in her. It wants to entertain and all this.
Yeah.
All this crap. That goes along. Molly has got the performance gene, from you and Ann.
And she enjoys it.
And Jan
And
used
she's
to,
good.
Yeah, and Jan used to love singing with her on the choir. I mean, she said.
Well,
she
and
just
Jan
was
did a great
wonderful.
job in the front office.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nepotism, but
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Good stuff today.
is it?
Did you win enough to buy the town of Las Vegas, Tom?
I didn't win enough to buy a hamburger.
Come on. Was that a Sandy's or a Henry's?
Neither.
Okay. Hey, that 2000 team, didn't they put about 16 guys in the NFL?
2002 team?
You betcha.
Yeah, they put a lot in the NFL. Yep.
Most good teams do.
They were loaded.
Yes, they were.
And they still lost to Iowa State.
After leading 24-7 at half?
24-7, got beat 36-31.
That was the awakening.
Yeah, it was, actually.
If that was the awakening, what was
Yeah.
USC?
Mean against the Heisman Trophy winner
Yeah, what
that
was-
beat up Brad Banks, Carson Palmer.
Yeah, what was that?
It's a beatdown.
Okay.
I was down there.
So was I.
So was
I didn't go to the game.
I did.
I did. I had to. That's why I was down there.
I didn't have to and
Yeah.
was down there.
You were homers.
I wasn't a homer.
I was.
Tom was. I wasn't. I don't think I ripped them after they lost, but I probably wasn't making excuses and blaming the officials when you get beat 38-13. I think it was. It was 10-10 at halftime.
It was 10-10 at half, but
they got outscored 28-3 in the second half, I believe.
it didn't feel like we were going to win that game at halftime, though.
No, USC was a better team.
Yeah.
They were arguably the best team in
They
the
had
country.
their glory early.
Yeah. Topical sports information.
You betcha.
You
we got
bet.
a lot of it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Hey, good to hear from you, bud.
Yeah, you take care.
All right.
I think it's pretty clear that Paul only calls when Tom's here. Is that fair to say, Captain?
Yeah.
We didn't hear from Paul when you were gone.
No.
Really?
No.
No. Paul.
I don't think he likes you guys.
I don't think he does either. I don't think Paul couldn't care less what we have to say about anything. It's you.
Hey.
You're the axis for which his
Paul's
wheels
a good
spin.
guy.
Yeah.
Paul likes you.
He's a good dude.
He's your buddy,
Yeah.
and he doesn't like Captain and I. Does he like Hunter?
But he respects the rank.
Does he like Hunter?
Hunter, does Paul like you? Yeah.
Oh, see, he likes Hunter.
Yeah.
It's you and I.
Yeah.
How about Lang?
I don't know. Good
He
question.
doesn't like Lang's dad. Remember that? He hung up the moment Lang's dad called.
Okay.
That was a good one.
That's one for Paul.
No, Paul was right though. That 2002 team was loaded.
It sure was.
Tons of players would go on to play. The offensive line. I mean, let's see, David Porter, Eric Steinbach, Robert Gallery. They all played in the NFL. I mean, now Fred Russell and Jamil Lewis didn't, but they were still really good. Brad didn't, but then you had Dallas Clark. I mean, you had Chad Greenway, Abdul Hodge. They were only redshirt freshmen on that team. You had Matt Roth on that team. There were so many. Bob Sanders,
they
of
were
course.
Loaded.
Yeah, that team was loaded. But
Yeah.
And that 3-year stretch, man, that's when Kirk had it going. And I'll say, in fairness
Finished
to
8th in the nation.
Kirk
in 3 years.
Kirk could have cashed in big and left Iowa. He didn't. And a lot of people, well, why would you leave where you're? I mean, yeah, he's got a good thing here. I'll give you that. But he could have left. He could have left and cashed in, and he didn't. So, I mean, I'll give him that. He's been loyal to Iowa, but Iowa's also been very, very
And
loyal
he's
to
made
him.
a good lot of money and has had a comfortable.
$7.5 million
gig.
will get it done in Iowa City.
Yeah.
You know, $7.5 million will get it done about anywhere, won't it? $7.5.
And Kirk could have gone somewhere else, but he also hasn't matched what he did in that 3-year stint since.
No, but I didn't think he would ever
No.
either. I mean, that's why you had to appreciate that when it happened.
Yep.
I mean, that's
And
Iowa.
I did.
That's Iowa football on steroids, and I don't mean it literally. You know what I mean, though. That's Iowa
Yes.
football at its best.
Yes.
Not suggesting there were steroids. That's just a figure of speech. Well, that's a figure of speech. I mean, that's where they were performing at such a level that schools like Ohio State, that's every year. Iowa can't sustain that, and I don't think they ever will be a program that can play at that level. And that's nothing. That's not criticism. That's reality. That's why, when they do have these breakthroughs and win 10, 11, 12 games, that's what's and that's what's incredible.
That's special. Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a special year, and but I don't know, this baseball. I feel bad for Iowa baseball, man. They just don't have any NIL to work with. It's such a tough sport to be competitive with right now, and they're just playing with a limited deck, and it's just. I'm guessing Reese Moore is he's trying to find I'm guessing payday, maybe better weather place, better conference, whatever. I mean, I don't. What is someone like Rick supposed to do if you don't have the money to compete? What do you do?
You coach up the guys that are there the best that you can.
I know
That's all you can do.
But after a while, if you're someone like Rick Heller, that's going to get old. After a while, I mean, and that's my worry. So we'll see. Like I said, they got to figure this NIL thing out for some of these other sports because someone like Brad Heiners can't be expected to raise money for all the sports either. You can't have it fall on one collective.
No.
You just can't. That's asking too much. It's hard enough for that collective to do football, men's and women's basketball. That's the three they're doing right now. That's tough enough.
It is. It's a job I sure wouldn't want.
No, I mean, Reese Moore, that's a significant loss. And, of course, Obermiller's not going to be back. He's going to go to the pros. And so, yeah, I mean, just every year having to just watch your roster get dismantled and have to rebuild with limited resources, that's tough. I feel for them.
It is, and some people are seeing it already, but we're going to start seeing that more so in basketball as well.
Oh, without question.
And, I mean, there's some teams that have been completely dismantled. Well, ours was, but that's with a coaching change. But there's some people that's it. Every year is going to be
and there's going to be times where the Iowa women lose players. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And you just got to figure out a way to adjust and a way to just make it work. But, man, I just don't know where this is headed. I mean, it seems to be spiraling out of control. But then some will argue, well, look at the baseball. It's great. NIL is the reason for this. And NIL is because these schools now have this NIL money that they can use to get some of this talent. And that's why you're seeing some of these upsets. But you watch them. Before it's all said and done, some of the cream will rise to the top as it usually does. But I'm just talking about Iowa baseball.
Well, let's see what happens with those teams that are excelling in the tournament this year. See how their roster looks after.
Well, then look
they're
at Nebraska.
Going to get rated.
I mean, Nebraska. They lost. Last I saw, they were losing 17-1 2 days ago in the tournament. They're out. They got eliminated.
Yeah.
I think they lost their last game. I think it ended up being like 19-4.
Jeez.
Someone just destroyed them. And so yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see. Rick's done a really good job of keeping Iowa a respectable program. They win 30 games. It's routine now what they do. They finish in the upper half every year. I mean, they've developed into one of the Big Ten's top, well, now with the new additions, top 5 or 6 programs.
Yep.
Before the new ones came in, you could say easily top 2 or 3 programs. But with the West Coast guys, now I say with Iowa, they're one of the top 6 or 7 programs in the Big Ten. But, man, to take that next jump, I think something's going to have to happen that's not happening right now off the field with NIL, because there's only so much Rick and these guys can do as players and coaches.
I mean, there's a reason that the 4 teams that came in were 4 of the top teams in the conference, because the good weather,
good
teams,
recruiting bases,
good
NILs. I mean,
yes.
And great recruiting bases. I mean, just recruit your state.
Yeah.
And then if you're Oregon and Washington, go in California, because California's got so many players, and so yeah, no, it's just tough. And the Reese Moore, that's just the nature of the beast. Reese Moore had emerged as one of Iowa's go-to best players. Yep. And he had a great year this year. He's hot, so he's using that. And it doesn't sound like he's going to consider coming back. I mean,
that's too bad.
It's tough. I feel for him.
Yep.
Tough.
And it is. It makes it harder. Well, and I imagine you're going to see there's going to be some baseball teams that go down. And if we can't compete in this new arena, then Iowa could lose their team too. I mean, it can happen.
Oh, Wisconsin and Iowa State, and you and I don't. Drake doesn't have baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, around here, there's more teams that don't have baseball.
Absolutely.
So Iowa should be pretty appreciative of what they have. But what they have right now is not enough to keep up with this new world. And I'm not saying it's not enough from a coaching Rick Hiller can compete with anyone when it comes to coaching baseball. He can compete with anybody. I think if you give him the fair shot with resources, he can recruit with anybody. But that's not the position we're in right now. So it's tough.
My God.
Yeah.
What's going on? What do you got, Captain? CNN updates?
Well, the woman that's on my screen, I'm behind you. Huge KFMH fan, and she used to live in Davenport and come to our remote.
And now she's on CNN?
Yeah, she's the president and founder of the Network for Aid, Relief, and Assistance, and she used to help with, food distribution in Davenport.
Uh-huh.
What are they having her on for?
I just looked up there, and
What's she on for? Food
she's
distribution?
About,
her organization being gutted by Doge.
The Israeli forces, she said, killed dozens at an aid site in Gaza.
Oh.
But I just looked up there and I go, wow, I know that person.
Wow.
So
there you go.
That was it.
That was it?
And she also warned us about the weather tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Could be bad.
Yeah, bad. Hail, a lot of lightning, damaging winds.
Yeah. Could happen.
And your suggestion is for people to listen to KCJJ for all the weather updates.
Keep it on throughout.
Keep it on throughout.
Throughout the day and night.
Yes.
Today.
Yes. Well, nothing today. I hope we do get some rain. I'm tired of having to. We need some rain.
Sometimes when you turn the radio off, it doesn't come back on for some reason.
So you just say leave it on?
Leave it on.
Leave it on nonstop?
Nonstop.
But the bad weather's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And what is it? Lots of times you guys read this stuff, and then what are the percent? All right, it's only a fifth. It's like, what's the percentage?
I have no idea.
Because lots of times we get all this stuff.
Does Mace give us a percentage from Severe Studios?
Because wouldn't that matter in your report?
No, it does not. It does not. It just says it's.
Because lots of times you've done that, and then we've asked you for 20%, and then I look at.
No, I think this is like 110%.
Okay. Because lots of times
possibility,
and the percentage thing is also the last.
You're
thing
going to look at an.
Well, we're trying to find some truth in this sea of fiction,
and I'm probably not going to find it in a weather app.
We're trying to find truth in this sea of fiction, Captain. Suter is searching for the truth right now on his cell phone.
Did you know?
Weather
art.
Yeah.
That would be a good movie. How about
Shoddy Workmanship?
Yeah, Robo.
Although, have you seen iRobot?
Yes.
I didn't like that.
I liked it.
And
stupid.
No, and Weatherbug also says yes, up to 100% tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
For sure.
Oh, God, you are basking. This is like
happy days are here again.
You're going to be giddy for the next 24 to 48 hours. So there's 100% chance of severe weather tomorrow night.
It's a 100%, and it's got a lightning bolt.
Heavy winds like a house in shambles.
Northwest winds northwest winds 10 miles per hour.
No, I'm sorry about that. That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
you want 40 to 50. You're consistent with gusts of 90.
And the precipitation rate's not that much either. Meh.
So, just a rainstorm.
Yeah.
Rainstorm.
It's a rainstorm.
It's just a summer rainstorm, late spring rainstorm.
Maybe we won't have to water.
That's all I'm hoping for, is just to get it to where I don't have to water for. Because the more you grow plants around your house and the more work it becomes to water them if you don't have a hose that stretches all the way to your backyard. That's kind of annoying. But we do need some rain. So we're talking tomorrow night. We're talking tomorrow night. It's not tomorrow during the day.
Tomorrow day should be rain. Midday on, good chance of rain.
And then it gets worse as the night comes.
It gets more, yes. Okay. Exactly.
But no, I would like to see some rain.
At least that's according to my weather app. And I'm guessing Mace says virtually the same thing as far as the severity.
Let's just listen to it.
Okay.
Partly cloudy and warm today. We'll get to the upper 80s, some places even close to 90 for a high this afternoon. And, yeah, there will be a little more of that smoky haze from all of those Canadian wildfires out there again today. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop to 69 tomorrow. Thunderstorms with some heavy rain, a half inch to an inch or more tomorrow into tomorrow night. An isolated strong to severe storm possible with hail and wind, the main threats. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it's 69.
KCJJ weather. Brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
And there you go.
So we're going to get some precip.
We are?
Yeah.
Which hopefully it's nothing too severe, but we definitely need some rain. Trying to think if there's anything else we haven't covered. Can't believe it's almost
God, there
10.
hasn't been. Football. I know you have to start diving into it.
Not really. I mean, I wrote that preview for Athlon 2 months ago, and the Athlon magazine is out now. But yeah, I mean, but really though, the only stuff going on right now, football wise, is recruiting.
Yeah.
This is a busy time recruiting. I know Dallas's brother's taking his 5 visits over these next 5, and then I think Iowa's his last visit on June 22nd. I mean, he's visiting Iowa, Iowa State, Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. You can't get more Big Ten-ish than that,
No,
can
you
you?
sure can't.
So that's one thing. Dallas's brother is definitely going to be playing in the Big Ten. We're just not sure where. Hopefully he picks Iowa. I think that he's up to 6'2" now, and that's pretty big for a defensive back.
It is.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got intriguing potential.
So now, did you mention that you talked to the Iowa people, and we're going to have some women's basketball players to talk to?
Oh, yeah, they sent out.
Is that us here?
No, this is. They're going to make them available during the summer for interviews. I mean, if you want to send somebody over there to do it, because that's when I usually get quotes for Radio Iowa and stuff, situation like that. I know Bailey sent something out. Where is it? Why don't you guys talk?
Radio Iowa.
Are they the competition, Captain?
No, it's who
is it?
It's Radio Iowa. They've always trying to affiliate with us, but we don't care about news in Sioux City.
No,
they pay me well though to do limited work.
Yeah. No, we don't care about.
No,
not that we don't care about the people in Sioux City, Steve, because we do.
No, we don't. Why would we? No, they've got this half-hour newscast that they do at 5 or 5:30 or something, and you don't care.
No, we really don't.
And
I would like to think our listeners do not care more than us.
Well,
we, of course, care. And we try to bring the information that is most interesting and current to our listeners.
God, now I can't find his email.
You would like to think that.
I would like to think that.
I would like to think that we don't care, so our listeners don't have to.
Molly Suter with a Hey Lang shirt on. How about that? Wow.
Yeah. His dad will be calling you.
All right, this is pissing me off that I can't find this.
Yeah. Arm yourself with the information if you want, and we can talk about it Wednesday.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to talk about. They're just making groups of players available for interviews over at the practice facility. They've done it. They do it every summer now.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 or 5 different. It may have gone. Sometimes for some reason, some of my stuff goes to spam.
Well, that's
And the problem with that though is you just don't see it.
No, you don't.
I mean, I've had some bills that I've owed that they've sent the app to spam, and I never saw it. And
that happened to us with our plane flights the other day. It went to spam.
Yeah, I don't get why that's starting. It seems like that's happening more and more to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it doesn't make any sense. But I've actually had a couple things sent from Iowa that has gone to my spam account, which is weird. I don't get it.
There's a spam. You've got something that is a spam filter that you might have it set too high.
Oh, really?
Possible.
Yeah, that could be, and I would not know how to fix that. But
go to spam filter settings. Spam filter be there. Email preferences, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I had my computer when I got back was completely non-functional.
What, here?
No, at home.
At home? Why?
Yeah, why?
Updates.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I could...
you have to update it or it won't work.
Oh, no, I had to go back before the update to system restore to make it work. So, I mean, I couldn't go online.
The updates are crap.
And you have to accept that you don't have a choice.
No. Well, that's the problem we have at KFMH. If I don't go down there all the time and look and see if it says to update and it goes for 2 more days.
Here, I found it.
It screws it.
Here is our summer media availability schedule. Video is allowed to shoot the last 30 minutes while still photography is allowed during the entirety of practice. June 26th, practice 9 to 11. Media there from 10 to 11, 15 minutes of interviews. Afterward, 3 to 4 players, 1 coach. July 1st, July 8th, and July 22nd. So they're going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4. We have four media opportunities with members of the women's basketball team through June and July, which is good because there's nothing going on in June and July.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally nothing other than football recruiting and portal stuff. But, I can only cover that stuff so much.
No.
I mean, it's just after a while, it's like just smashing your head against the wall. This portal stuff. But no, it's so yeah, late June, and I appreciate Iowa doing these summer media opportunities because they didn't used to do that stuff. There was a long time where we didn't get much at all during the summer, but now Iowa's way more accessible than they ever have been.
And I think that's important.
Well, yeah, because the ones who benefit the most from it are the fans, the readers.
Yep.
That, and I think that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, of course, we in the media benefit from having content to write about too, so that makes it better. So yeah, we'll have access, and I'm sure we'll get Iowa football players in June and July. We usually do. My guess is we'll get We'll get some men's basketball players. I mean, they'll announce times we'll get to meet the new players and what have you. So yeah, that's a lot of new players. The only player that's not new is Cooper Koch. Yeah, he's the only one we know. So yeah, there's going to be a lot going on summer-wise that way. Interviews and what have you. So go from there.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Ben's roster, assuming we're at the final.
I think we're close. I think we're about close. Yeah, you're right.
They're going to be able to compete against a tougher gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm trying to be realistic, but I do like the big 3 of Sturts, Fulgaris, and Hausen, like Haas.
Yes.
That to me is the big 3 to build around because they can spread the floor with those guys.
And Hausen does have Caitlin range.
Oh, he does.
I've seen it.
Yeah, he does, and he can shoot from 30.
And he torched Iowa State for 24 points, I think. So
yeah, I mean, they got him to make threes and to spread the floor, and so we shall see. I mean, if you're making threes, you can beat about anybody.
Yes,
it'll be interesting to see, though. It's going to be interesting to see how different it is to watch them on defense compared to what we've been accustomed to under Fran. They're not going to play near as fast. There won't be near as many possessions, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how it goes. Like I said, to me, the bar right now, year 1 is a winning season. If they have a winning season, I'm okay with that. I don't think he has to make the NCAA tournament to show that he's worthy of the job.
No, obviously that's going to be their goal.
Well, it's the goal of every team every year. That was Lickletter's goal every year. But I think you got to be realistic about it.
Well, time will tell, as it always does.
You're leaving now. Only time will tell.
Oh,
turned it into a torch song.
You're leaving now. It's in your eyes,
Asia.
There's no denying it.
It comes as no surprise.
So you were actually happy when Asia came out. They fulfilled your expectations.
I thought, here's the next Beatles.
God, they're all in their 40s and 30s. I mean, they've been around forever. I didn't realize. I don't know what made me think about. I read something on the Buggles. I didn't realize that Buggles dissolved and became joined with Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
2 of their members were. Yeah, I did not realize that.
I didn't realize that John Fogerty was 80.
Yeah, there's a video
all
of him.
All those guys are.
There's a video of him singing at his farm. He's sitting on this chair with his dog.
Yeah.
And he starts singing Who'll Stop the Rain, just him and his guitar.
Yeah.
It's incredible, but halfway through it, the dog just gets up and leaves.
I've heard it before.
I thought it was funny, but he just sits there by himself with his guitar, and I mean, it was 2.5 minutes. It was pure joy. I mean, it didn't look like it was that long ago either. He looks pretty good for 80.
Yeah.
But, yeah, all those guys are...
I thought he was maybe...
late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
they have to be.
He was like maybe my age, but God...
Well, he's not much younger. No offense.
Willie Nelson's in his 90s.
Willie Nelson's 90.
This Wednesday, which I will not be here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Will be my 60th.
And you're celebrating your 60th anniversary by taking the day off. I love it. I love it.
First, well, I have to take.
Oh,
the
I know.
day
I
off.
know you do.
Yeah. But,
Oh, it's not like you're going downtown to
no.
Close Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. Say goodbye to the field house.
There you go. Why is it closing?
It's becoming a country bar.
What is it now?
Hazard County.
What is it now? Is it sort of a flesh factory now, kind of?
I haven't been in there.
Oh, it's
in
a
years
restaurant.
And years.
But is it where at night though? Doesn't it turn into a place where you
It's a kid's.
little
Sure, it's a college.
kind of get it working?
It's a college place.
That encompasses all of them.
Really? So they all go from a nice food places, then it just turns into lust after like 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Lust after 9. So what are they going to name this new place?
Hazard County. Yeah.
New owners.
There's a Hazard County.
So when you
Cedar
say it's
Rapids,
a country,
so
they're only going to play country music?
Yes. Yeah, it's a country bar.
So aren't there like 4 country places downtown then? You got Tequila Cowgirl.
Yeah.
You've got Hazard County, did you say?
Yeah.
And what's the place that Pints used to be now, Molly? What is the place now that Pints used to be? Giddy Up. So there's 3.
Giddy Up.
I had no idea this was going on here.
And there's another country place, but I'm not sure.
Well, judging from the answers we get on Phil and Kinnick, there's obviously a market for it.
Yeah.
Especially with the college students.
Giddy Up.
I'm just not, like I said, I've never been a fan of country music.
Oh, I played it.
So they have like those, you can ride on the what do you call the thing?
I don't know.
Is this like Urban Cowboy?
The bull.
The bull.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
Hey,
I don't know that they're still riding on the bull.
You walk in there and
Maybe.
Yeah. There could be a bull somewhere.
what was that? Gillies?
Yeah.
Mickey Gilly? Urban
Well,
Cowboy
they
came
had
out.
a bull at Wildwood.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Gillies in Las Vegas. I think they still have a bull.
Have you ever ridden a bull?
I have not.
I've not. I would.
No, my spine would snap.
No.
Urban Cowboy came out 45 years ago.
Yeah.
45.
Jesus.
That makes me feel old.
It should.
It should. You are.
Yeah, I was what? That came out. I was 16 when Urban Cowboy came out.
And Steve, you were in your 50th year?
50th year of radio. You were already talking about retiring. Back in 1980. No, 1980 you were in about your 15th year of radio?
Yeah.
Okay. What year you started in 65?
65.
God, I was 1.
I was 15.
I was 1.
Wow.
I could have kicked your ass.
You could have. What were you doing in 1965?
1965, I was in school. As I was mandated.
Junior high, right? You wouldn't have been in high school then.
No, mandated junior high.
What junior high did you go to?
Southeast 1 year, and then U-High after that.
What year was Southeast built?
Late 50s.
Oh, it's that old. I didn't realize it was that old. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly which year in there, but I remember walking with my sister to Southeast when it was being built. And
Is that when you lived on Crestview?
yes.
That was a decent hike.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably put in that's about probably a back and forth, close to 2 mile walk.
I'd say so.
You did that every day?
When I went to school there, I did.
Yeah, I remember I had to walk from junior high that way. But when you're a kid, you don't think about
No.
you just do it.
Because you don't have any.
And it's so easy to walk
option.
a mile as a kid. You
Yeah.
don't even think about it.
No.
But yeah, I had a pretty long walk home when I didn't get a ride from my parents from my house.
And I got used to the uphill both ways and the blizzards every day. I got used to that.
Yeah.
See, I am, but like grade school, I literally had to climb 2 fences and I was there.
Gail Robertson on my.
Yeah.
I posted that 60 years, and she said, I've been listening for most of those years.
And she has.
Yeah. She lived in the Quad Cities and came here.
Cry for help.
Hey, Gail's great.
Just kidding, Gail. Just kidding. It's all just poops and giggles.
Jesus. 60 freaking years.
Yeah, 60. So 65, the Iowa football program was already in the free fall at that time.
Yeah, they're in the midst of the doldrums.
Yes, and they had a long ways to go to get out of them.
That was the Gary Snook era, if I recall.
Yeah, I'm a good player, but they never won a lot of games with him, did they?
No, when we were preseason, Playboy magazine ranked us number 1 in
Was
the
that
nation.
in 61 or 62?
No, that was 64 or 5.
God, they were giving
and
Iowa.
we won one game.
Yeah, and by then they gave up. Because remember, the 61, I mean, Jerry Burns' first team, that team was supposed to be great too.
Yeah.
And it ended up, 5-4, I think?
They were okay.
Yeah, no, it happened fast without Evie. And I'm sure, do you think Evie got a little bit of satisfaction seeing how quickly it unraveled without him?
Probably.
As the head coach? Because
I thought
as great as he
daughter
was,
said that
he did seem, Evie did seem to have a little pettiness in him, didn't he?
It seemed.
So, yeah.
She was pretty honest about
Oh,
that.
she was great.
Very much so.
She was very honest.
And then she friended me on Facebook.
No, Marion's great.
She didn't pull any punches. I mean,
imagine now she's ashamed of me because I'm restricted.
And she was probably. And she was a great teacher because she got me interested. So
what was her subject?
It was, I think it was political processes.
Oh, okay.
Was the name of the course.
And that was where did she teach
At
you?
U-High.
At U-High, okay. Which doesn't exist anymore, right?
The building does. It's
what
North Hall.
Oh, okay.
For the university.
Okay.
And now you hate politics.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily hate. It's just tiresome. Just the division. It's just the same thing every day. Every day you get on Twitter and it's the same people.
Yeah, just the same thing every day. You don't find out that your former president was a robot.
Well, what I'm saying, it's just the same political division divide. It's just tiresome.
I mean, nobody believes that.
But can you?
Why even say it?
Can you imagine? That's the president of the United States
But
saying the former president was a robot.
But he can get away, and I think he's doing that just to get a rise.
I know, but I mean,
but he
it's
can get
so
away with
ridiculous.
it. That's just where we are now. He can get away with almost anything now.
That's going to be one day in like this book of crap,
Well, imagine the first movie they do about this era 10 years from now. Think about that.
It's just such BS that.
Well, you couldn't do it as a straight drama.
Well, you wouldn't think it's true. I mean, but this is a case where fact is better than fiction. I mean, because a lot of this stuff is going on now. You wouldn't believe it if you didn't see it right before your eyes. No, these are crazy.
And yet there's millions of people who buy into it.
And I'm concerned about what Russia's going to, what's their response. There were people on Twitter saying, oh, it's nuke time, just keyboard warriors hiding behind their bot accounts saying that this is the next. Yeah,
keeping a jar of lube away from dinner.
That nuclear war is the answer. Yeah, if you guys mess with Russia, you're going to pay the price. I mean, but no, aren't you a little concerned about what Russia's going to do? And they're going to respond to this. There's no way they're going to take this sitting down.
Well, they'll keep fighting. I mean, they started.
But I mean, the thing is, though, what more can they already bombed children's hospitals, so they'll just do more of the same.
Yeah. There you go.
Hello.
Oh, I just wanted to say I'm working on the new movie on this era. It's called Animal White House, and we're going to try to bring John Belushi back. So,
well, good
see what we
luck.
can do.
Who would he play?
Good luck to
Belushi.
you.
What character would he play?
RFK Jr.
Yeah. Great.
Could you imagine that? Oh, and I was telling these guys, I've reached out to Iowa about trying to get the new softball coach on, Stacy Major.
Oh, that'd be great.
And they said when she gets back, I tried to get her on Friday, but she was just too busy. When she gets back, they said they're going to set it up and we'll get her on. Because, I think that'll be a good interview. And it'll be good for her to, start spreading her brand and start, reaching out to the fans.
Yeah.
And so, I had no problem. Part of me was pulling for Carl, I'll be honest with you, just because of everything he went through.
And he did a good job.
But, I mean, it's hard to argue with this, at least on paper. So we'll see.
Looks good.
So, we good?
All right. That it?
All right.
Okay, well, if we make it through the storms tomorrow.
Well, I mean, then I plan on being here Wednesday, but, if I come out here and this thing's just floating in water, I'm not coming in.
God save us all.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody contact the insurance guy.
Yes.
Okay. Molly Suter is next. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
Download the new KCJJ app. Keep up with the